A group of buddies, Jerry, Jim, and Paul, are having fun at a nightclub. They are having a drink, discussing their co-worker who is unhappy that they are meeting clients without her. Paul notices a drunk girl, Cassandra Cassie Thomas, in a short skirt sitting alone on a couch in the club. Jerry says he's going to try to hit on her. To the cheers of his buddies, he approaches Cassie, wondering if she's okay. She claims she can't find her cell phone. Jerry offers her a ride home. Cassie agrees. In the cab, Jerry says he lives just a couple blocks away, suggests the girl stop by his place for a few drinks before bed. Her silence is taken by Jerry as agreement. Jerry treats Cassie to some liquor. She takes just one sip. Jerry begins to compliment her, kisses her, then lays her on the bed. Cassie mumbles, "What are you doing? Stop." Jerry doesn't listen to her. Cassie jumps up abruptly, loudly repeats her question in a perfectly sober voice. Toward morning, Cassie returns home. She makes another notation in her notebook, puts Jerry's name on the long list of men she has taught a lesson. Cassie has breakfast with her parents. Cassie claims that she had to work late last night. After the coffee shop closed, she had to do inventory. From the outside, it may seem like the girl doesn't care about anything, but in reality, she leads a double life. A few years ago, her best friend Nina Fisher, after a student party, raped their fellow student, Alex Monroe. But to prove it Nina could not, the rapist remained unpunished. Together with her friend Cassie, dropped out of medical school. After the death of Nina, which was a great shock to her, Cassie traded her dreams and ambitions for the revenge of libertines. In secret, she goes to clubs every week, pretends to be drunk, provokes men who see her as easy prey. After the incident, Cassandra, angry at the world, works in a coffee shop during the day, and at night goes to clubs, where she pretends to be drunk and provokes men to take advantage of the moment to take the girl home, wanting to have fun with her. And already at the apartments, Cassandra reveals her sobriety and takes a kind of revenge on such predators. After each such hunt, Cassandra returns home, writing down the name of another potential rapist in a special book. One day, a young man named Ryan walks into the coffee shop to the heroine. It turns out that he studied with her in medical school. The guy asks the girl to go on a date with him, but Cassandra gives H. One day, a young man named Ryan walks into the coffee shop to the heroine. It turns out that he studied with her in medical school. The guy asks the girl to go on a date with him, but Cassandra gives him the wrong phone number. Despite this, Ryan later returns to the coffee shop to ask the girl out again. This time, Cassie agrees. The couple has a nice time, but at the last moment, Ryan spoils everything by trying to call Cassie to his house. An offended Cassandra goes home. But the next day, she visits Ryan at work as she wants to see him again. They begin socializing again. During one of their conversations, Ryan tells Cassie about old acquaintances, a former friend of the heroine, Madison, and about Al Monroe, who is going to get married soon. In the past, it was Al who raped Nina, and Madison didn't believe the story about it. Stirred by the memories, Cassandra begins to plan revenge on the people responsible for what happened to Nina. Cassie calls Madison to a meeting. During lunch, the protagonist reminds Maddie of what happened back then, trying to see if the girl has changed her mind since then. Realizing that Madison has remained the same, Cassie leaves. Since Cassandra had been systematically drinking her companion before, she instructs the man she hired earlier to take Madison to her hotel room. Over the next few days, Cassandra ignores calls from her former acquaintance, trying to figure out what happened to her. After meeting with Maddie, Cassandra targets Elizabeth Walker, the dean of the medical school Nina attended. At one time, Walker also didn't believe the stories and wouldn't let the allegations against Al Monroe go forward. Cassie, pretending to be a makeup artist for Walker's daughter's favorite music band, tricks the girl into getting into a car and takes her to an unknown destination. Later, Cassie visits the dean and questions her about those very events. Seeing that Elizabeth doesn't even remember Nina, Cassandra reveals that she sent the dean's daughter to Al Monroe's former room with a group of straying guys. A panicked Walker, practically in tears, apologizes to the heroine and asks her to tell her exactly where the girl is. Smirking Cassie, in response to the apology, tells her that in fact Walker's daughter is in a cafe, waiting for the arrival of her favorite musical group. The girl leaves the dean's office. Meanwhile, Cassandra starts dating Ryan full-time, but despite this, she still does not give up her night hunt. On one of these nights, Cassie leaves with a stranger and is noticed by her boyfriend. Shocked by the girl's behavior, Ryan breaks up with her. The third stage of revenge for what happened to Nina is a trip to Jordan Green, Monroe's former lawyer. It was Green who had threatened Nina in the past to withdraw her accusations. However, coming to Green, Cassie encounters the unexpected. The lawyer, who is mentally ill, sincerely apologizes to the girl for what he has done. Cassie forgives him. After visiting Green, the protagonist visits Nina's mother. During the conversation, the woman asks Cassandra to finally start moving on and not to dwell on the past. Having heeded the advice, Cassie decides to stop trying to take revenge and restores her relationship with Ryan. Sometime later, Madison comes to Cassandra, still searching for answers to what happened to her during their meeting. Cassie tells her that nothing happened and Madison was actually just put to bed. In turn, Madison gives Cassandra one of her old cell phones that has a video of Nina's rape saved on it. Turning on the video, Cassie discovers that one of the participants in the incident was Ryan. The girl comes to the guy at work, threatening him with publishing the tape if he doesn't tell her where Al's bachelor party will be held. Having reported everything, Ryan asks the girl to forgive him, but Cassandra refuses. On the right day, Cassie arrives at Monroe's party disguised as a stripper. After getting all of Al's friends drunk on sleeping pills, she takes her fiancé upstairs, where she handcuffs him to the bed, then reveals to the guy the true purpose of her coming here. However, as Cassie prepares to punish Al, he suddenly frees one arm and ends up killing the heroine by smothering her with a pillow. In the morning, his best friend Joe comes up to Al's room. Having learned about the murder, Joe persuades Monroe to cover up all traces of what happened. Together, they burn Cassandra's body. The parents of the heroine report their daughter's disappearance to the police. Beginning to investigate, one of the detectives comes with questions to Ryan. The police suspect that Cassie ran away and committed suicide due to her mental instability. Ryan supports this theory. Al Monroe's wedding day arrives. During the wedding, Ryan receives a scheduled text from Cassandra on his phone. It turns out that before going to the bachelor party, the girl sent a tape of Nina's rape to Jordan Green, warning him where she was going and what could possibly happen to her. As a result, the police arrive at the ceremony. They discover Cassandra's remains and charge Al with murder.